sevele bumbene insimbi yesithupha nalomhla ekseni nomangosilenhle senivusela sithi vukani nathi naluhlelo lumnanzi Kusile breakfast show sina nje kunatisa inhlelo tentuthuko letikhona eveni letichubekayo ke naletinye nje inhlelo letikhona incenye tingabi tentuthuko nje kunatisa ngaletinye tinto letichubeka kolapha eveni kufaka ekhathi tindzaba lesitibonile itolo nalomuhla ekseni siyatfakela ukuthi laba sipopolela imigwaco lomuhla kungathi khwala batawufuna ukuthi basivetele kona leningafuni ukuthi niphuthelwe kuko siyacela ke ukuthi nihlale nathi ehlelweni kude nivele ngale kwaloko sifiso nxumalo 12 lo emgadleleni lapha kujuluka elitsitsi emgadlela kandaba uyanivusela ngihambe ngedwa Ntombi yemathombeni good
ngoni ngiphilile unjani lomhla ekseni
siyavuka thi
siyavuka nathi sibona khona umbukelo ukuthi ukhethe kuvuka nathi lomhla ekseni sakuvusela 16 kuyo inyanga yemphala sithemba ukuthi niphilile lomuhla seselangeni lesithathu kulelo viki lesiliqalile kulelo viki kunesikuphathele njengoba sifiso sakavetele usister Vetela traffic update simo samgwaco ukuthi ngabe kuhambeka kanjani lomuhla emgwacweni naletinye ke dindzaba mhla ke lilanga lakamhlaba le World Food Day ihlangano kamhlaba United Nations kubhala ilanga lekudla eWorld Food Day lomuhla ngaphansi kwesicubulo lesithi right to food for a better life and a better future. Sitaba nje na Nelson Mavuso lo ngumcondzisi etiko letekulima sikhulumisane naSibusiso Mondlane waka Food and Agricultural Organization kanye namlamuli waka World Vision Eswatini kuva nje simo sendlala eveni kanye netinhlelo letentiwa live ngekubambisana nato letinhlangano leti kunciphisa busweti ngonyama ke na yetfula inkulumo yayo emhlanganweni iWorld Food Forum incomeko ukuthi kube netisombululo letisikhombisa tekulwa nesimo sekudla njengoba timo letfaka ekhathi umkhuhlane COVID-19 isibuyisele emuva simave eAfrika kuachieve ligoli lakamhlaba lilikhonsile lesibili lekuncoba busweti sabe sikhulumisana nabo lomuhla nga7:30.
On the other note, we will take a retrospective view on the customer experience 30 days after the CMA migration with insights from FNB's head of customer experience, Tembi Silombo, and their payments head, Zilindile Friedman. We want to explore the key developments in the last month. How the bank has worked to enhance the Forex platform for a better customer experience, and what concessions regulators have made in response. We'll also discuss the challenges customers have faced, including incorrect BOP codes, cut-off times, and payment delays. Stay tuned as we break down how businesses are adjusting and how customers can get the help that they need. All of this when the first 30 minutes of the show elapses. That is 6:30 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, kunjalo kongaja sibuke nathi lethemba imbili kumaphephandaba. It's leading headlines on the Times of Eswatini this morning. Freak crash, 4 rushed to hospital. Ingotkilena ile fayekhathi Toyota Quantum ganye ne Toyota GD6 itolo lendeke lapha eMbabane. In other news, as exponent investigations intensify, order to probe accounts of the high and mighty. Magistrates Court grants order to cops to investigate over 5 bank accounts belong to high-ranking politician, business people, lawyers, money lending company. You can read more on page 2. Government scholarship blow for aspiring teachers. Kanti kuletinye an update on the killed toddler. Suspect's mom's Indumba was set alight, and ex-warder beggar to be buried in South Africa.
The biggest news this Tuesday morning, not just as a sports headline, but it's the biggest news overall. Eswatini TV, MTN Eswatini, and the Premier League of Eswatini have entered into a pilot partnership to broadcast games live, and Bull Game is going to be live on Eswatini TV this weekend. It's an announcement that was made yesterday during a press conference at Sikwacha House in Mbabane. Another story, reaction to disastrous AFCON display. Fatigue killed us. That is according to Lugarasic, the Sihlangu head coach, who attributes Mozambique's 0-3 crushing defeat to demanding schedule. Matse backs new gaffer. Another story speaks to Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, who oppose Wanderers' fresh bid. It is far from over. Rather, it's Moneni Pirates, I beg your pardon, Denver Sundowns and Bucks oppose Wanderers' fresh bid. Tuchel agrees to become England coach from the international front.
Right, moving on to the Eswatini Observer, leading headlines this Wednesday. Angry mob burns Indumba. This is the one-room house that was used as Indumba, which was torched by the residents of Mbigwake. In other news, government announces shock UNESWA cause decision. Minister of Labour says government will stop sponsoring BA Humanities cause at UNESWA. He says this is part of re-evaluation of education funding priorities. And in other news, King holds talks with FAO boss. Kanziwile Minister of ICT Savannah says Eswatini is ready to be Africa's AI hub, and residents block tracks for road project.
Right, moving along, turning the leaf, and we look at Eswatini Observer Sports. Big story again, Eswatini TV PLE to showcase live games. There might be a huge relief. In fact, not might. There is a huge relief for football lovers at home, as the Premier League of Eswatini and Eswatini Television Authority are on the verge of having live broadcasts for elite league games. I need Sikali for Chen Games. Sihlangu head coach says Sihlangu is still hot property. Another story speaks to an execution of order that has been opposed. Pirates throw a spanner in the works. Thabiso Manyati is the new Lozita Hotspurs governor. Velekaya is set for Wesleyan's hot seat, and Eswatini boxers are to miss African champs.
Moving on to the Eswatini Daily News, your leading headlines. King holds talks with FAO Director General. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Shakantu, says King is a powerful player in attracting global investors. And in other news, Eswatini Air welcomes SA Stars.
Eswatini Daily News Sport gets it right in making the biggest story the biggest story. PLE renews broadcast vows with Eswatini TV. And this is an agreement that is a 3-match broadcast trial deal starting this weekend. Nsingizini Hotspurs conquers English market in another story. And Mbappe's golden boy image takes a hit. Has been really struggling there in Real Madrid.
7 minutes after 6, and that's it for your newspaper headlines this morning. As Batal Temagete Stabuya and Nadine Zaba.
As Maswati, we were given this country by Mveli to live in, and he expects us to love and be tolerant of each other.
I'm part of this. Mawuthi angitsheka generationally, nami dabuka kangwane. Manje on a serious note, kukhona uhlelo kuthiwa isive siyathuthuka. And I believe ukuthi life is all about impacting other lives. So ngokuba khona kwami, I believe ukuthi abantu abaningi bazothola ukuphila nokukhuthala. So masithuthuke isizwe.
Hi guys, please watch Sive Sia Tutuga on Eswatini TV every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m.
Lipito lami nginokwazi ngokat lamini Sive Sia Tutuga.
Senze sinimukele sakuvusela nawo lo sanza kusivulelana titindzaba tetfu tekucala. Silo semhlaba sesihlangene nemcondzisi jikelele wenhlangano yakamhlaba yetekudla netekulima i-Food and Agriculture Organization His Excellency Q Dong-yu enhlokovisi yale nhlangano eRome. Ingonyama isesekhona eTheli iphindze yaba nemhlangano nenkosi yelive leLesotho, inkosi iLetsiye wesithathu.
Ngaphandle kwemhlangano waka World Food Forum silo semhlaba sibena leminye imihlangano eceleni. Ingonyama ihlangane nemcondzisi jikelele wenhlangano ye-Food and Agriculture Organization His Excellency Q Dong-yu. Silo semhlaba sihlangane nemcondzisi jikelele walenhlangano enhloko-ofisi yalenhlangano eRome. Inhlangano yaka-Food and Agriculture Organization ngiyo lechuba lo mhlangano we-World Food Forum lochubekako lobo kade ungenelwe silo semhlaba. Inhlangano ye-Food and Agriculture Organization FAO luphiko-ke lwenhlangano yakamhlabuhlangene lolubuketa tindlela tekulwa nendlala emhlabeni. Ingwenyama ibe netingxoxo kanye naye umcondzisi jikelele walenhlangano kubuketa kutsi itawuchubeka ilisekele kanjani leSwatini njengoba inato tinhlelo letikhona lesekela uhulumende wembube kito letifaka ekhatsi uhlelo lwakamhlaba lokubhombosana lolwatiwa ngele hand in hand. Ekubeni silo semhlaba siphethe umhlangano nemcondzisi jikelele sibe sesesayina libhuku letivakashi lebese kuyawusala emlandvweni ukuthi imbube yemhlaba ike yanyathela kule nhlokohovisi.
Real, yes. You see, that's the real founder of the why 20 years ago, he started first international cultural civilian leader. The 40 years
Ukuchithwa kokudla lokwanele even leSwatini kungileminye yemigomo lebekwe ingwenyama njengoba ihlala ikhuthata eMaswati ukuthi akichithe kudla lokwanele kude live litawukhona kudondla litalithengisele nalamanye emave. Ingwenyama iphindze yahlangana nenkosi yelive leLesotho, inkosi iLetsiye wesithathu. Buhlobo emkhathini kwalamave lamabili sekuneminyaka leminingi babakhona kanike iminyaka solobuchubeka bamfubo lamave omabili bakhonile kuzuza kulokuningi. Ingwenyama ibe netingxoxo nenkosi yeBesotho tekubuketa tindlela tekundlondlobalisa lobuhlobo kanye nekubuketa tindlela tekubambisana nekushiyela naligwayi ekutfutfukiseni imnotfo yalamave lamabili. Etindzabeni kubika Pholile Maziya anathemba mamba eRome eTaliyane.
Insha yelive leSwatini lengenele umhlangano we-World Food Forum womnyaka wa 2024 eRome ithi ilitfokotele kakhulu lelithuba njengoba umhlaba wonke sewubeke insha embili emitameni yekulwa nekucedza indlala necinisekisa ukuthi umhlaba uba nekudla lokwanele lokunemphilo nalokunemsoco. Umhlangano longenelwe silo semhlaba nebaholi bemave uhlanganise insha lebuya etinhlangothini letehlukene temhlaba.
Umhlangano we-World Food Forum ubeke insha embili emitameni yekulwa nendlala emhlabeni necinisekisa ukudla lokwanele nalokunemsoco. Lo mhlangano lobanjelwe enhloko-ofisi yaka-Food and Agriculture Organization uhlanganise insha lebuya etinhlangothini letehlukene temhlaba lekufaka ekhatsi lebuya even leSwatini. Insha lebuya even leSwatini ithi leli kube lithuba elihle kibo njengoba insha yelive leSwatini kumele ingasaleli ngemuva kulolu hlelo lomhlaba lokulwa nendlala necinisekisa ukudla lokwanele. Umfundzi wenyuvesi yelive leSwatini Andiswa Shongolo wenta tifundvo te-Agricultural Economics and Business Management eLuyengo uthi dinengi timo letinemthelela yokuthi kudla kungakhiciteki ngalokwanele.
ukuthi indzaba yokuthi live libe food secure, kube ne-food security, it goes deeper than ukuthi live likhona producer kudla kwalo. Kunema-cost teni la semva kwako, ma-economic cost, environmental cost, nema-health cost. Kalawo environmental cost kunabo climate change, ka-economic cost kunendzaba ye-trade. And indzaba ye-trade ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyole affecta kakhulu insha ngoba yona iyasho ukuthi thina siyinsha siyafuna kona kuba part of ma-farmers, but inkinga lezivamise kubhekana nayo ukuthi asikhona loku-accessa le makethe melula lokwenta ukuthi loko lesesikuproducile bese akusafiki kahle kusesesimeni lesikahle emakethe. So sibese sabona ukuthi kuze ukuthi sitawukhona kuzuza lebesikhulume ngako ukuthi sithi masibiyela amaveni akithi sikolekane si-youth sihlale phasi sibona ukuthi ngiyiphi indlela lesingakhona ngayo kufika kuhulumende sicela ukuthi ama-policies asala asifaka nathi sicela kuba ne-live lokuthi whatever that happens ka-agriculture nathi sifakeke imakethe sikhona kuyi-accessa netindlela letinsha tekwenta ma-climate smart agriculture.
Mayibongwe Vilakati naye lo wenda tifundvo letifana nako enyuvesi yelive uvete ukuthi banenzima lekumele bayidlale kucinisekisa ukuthi abantu bayakhona kutfola kudla lokunemsoco nalokunemphilo.
Ngoba vele kuliciniso lokuthi sibamfu labasha likhulu lichaza lesingalidlala ekuletheni imfufuko lekhonsako emaveni akithi and kungaba sicelo nje kimi ukuthi uhulumende kuko konke la undabo kuwo onke ama-plans laqhamuka nawo tinhlelo lacabanga kudenda ayicabange ne-youth ukuthi khona lichaza i-youth lelingalidlala ekubambiseni uhulumende nesive sonke ekuletheni imfufuko lekhonsako.
Lo mhlangano uhlanganise insha lehola tinhlangano tebantfu labasha kosephayo manyathi wenhlangano ye-Young Professionals in Agriculture and Rural Development uthi kumele basebenzise tindlela tesimanje netebuchwephesha kulwa nendlala.
So inhlangano namhla lengimelele la eRome, it's Smiling Through Farming kanye na YPAD Eswatini. So ngiyethemba Smiling Through sesigile samubona indzaweni letinengi. So inhlangano nje yebalimi sinkampani yebalimi labancane labalima legumes, especially bean seed, and I am also the Eswatini FAO country program face. So dineng ema programs esonda na FAO to promote youth inclusion, especially in relation to agriculture, where now YPAD comes in. YPAD young professionals in agriculture and rural development. So basically YPAD inhlangano le global outreach with more than 50 countries participating in. It's young people basically harnessing each other's potential and capacity and abilities. Utsinga bevele la agriculture yini lesingayenda ukuze sibe ne productivity le high, ukuze futhi sende kudla lokutawa safe, sende futhi ema innovations la tawenda ukuze sitfole maximum yields.
Luhlelo lwensha kulomhlangano luniketa bantfu labasha itfuba lekushela naligwayi njengelikusasa lemhlaba. Etintsabeni kubika Pholile Mazia anathemba Mamba eTaliyane.
Kubambisana kwetinhlangothi letehlukene kuthuthukisa netemabhizinisi kungafaka sandla lesibandi ekuthuthukiseni tekuvakasha kuleli kukhulise nemnotfo yelive. Lokhu kushiwo indvuna yetekuvakasha netindzaba temvelo umhlonishwa Jane Simelane emcimbini wekwemukela labadumile futhi labane balandzeli labanyenti etinkhundleni tekuchumana kulela leNingizimu Afrika. Labakuleli ngekumenywa yinkampani yetindiza kuleli Eswatini Air kutsi batawukhangisa ngendiza yelive kude kutowanza abagibeli bayo kuthuthuke tekuvakasha netemabhizinisi eveni.
Leti menywa tibhekeke kutsi tisebentise tinkhundla tato tekuchumana ekusabalaliseni loko letikubonile kuleli kusukela endizeni kuya etindzaweni letikhanga tivakashi. Letimenywa boConnie Ferguson, Jessica Nkosi, Nomusa Dlomo, Rorisang, Mathema, kanye naKabelo Mohale.
For tourism to flourish in Eswatini, we need a multi-sectoral approach.
Kude tekuvakasha totfutfuka eveni sidzinga kutsi tinhlangothi letehlukene tibambisane. Silive sihambisana neliphupho le-Afrika lekuthi bonke bantfu bafinyelele ekugibeleni tindiza basenda imisebenti yabo leyehlukene.
Umphathi wenkampani etindiza kuleli iEswatini eqiniso Dlamini uthi lobudlelwane laba bakhe nelibandla letekuvakasha kuleli iEswatini Tourism Authority butokwenda ukuthi babe banyenti bantfu labeta kuleli ngemisebenzi leyehlukene.
Our motto is that everyone must fly. It must just be as another mode of transport, and for us, it's a mode that is even safer, and it's the safest mode of transport, flying, because all the checks and balances that are put into place.
Ethula inkulumo yekubonga noMusa Dlomo lokhulumelele timenywa ucale ngekudumisa imphatfo lenhle emakhasimende leniketwa ngulendiza.
We believe that this great initiative will definitely yield the desirable.
Siyakholwa ukuthi lo msebenzi lona utawusilethela tithelo letibhekekile kutekuvakasha kuleli. Nangiva yindvuna ichaza ngetintfo letikhona kuleli, ngiyamangala. Siyaye sichithe imali sishone kubo Barbados kanti lapha kunyenti lesingakutfola.
Litiko letekuvakasha latibekela umgomo wekukhangata ivakashi letitigidzi letimbili letingachitsa 2 billion emalangeni emnothweni wakuleli ngamnyaka wa 2027. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV, Mbongwa Dube, Smova Nokwane.
Imvona yelitiko leti-70 nenhlalakahle yato umhlonishwa Phila Buthelezi seyimemedele ukuthi libandla letindvuna tembuso selincome ukuthi uhulumende utawuchubeka nekubhadalela abafunzi labenta tifundvo te-postgraduate certificate in education kulomnyaka wekufundza wa 2024-2025. Imvona yithi bafunzi labenta i-Bachelor of Arts in Humanities bona angeke uhulumende asababhadalela ngesizatfu sekuthi abacasheki.
Indvuna yelitiko leti-70 seyimemetele lishintsho etifundvweni uhulumende latibhadelako enyuvesi yaKangwane.
Uhulumende-ke ulalele ukukhala kwabafundzi ngoba bayasho ukuthi abakhoni ukucasheka nabendela ama-humanities ngaphandle kwale PGCE. Kanti ikhona iprogram yama-humanities with education ekhatsi lesiyifandako. Uhulumende-ke ubese sowubuka lokwekuthi kukhona bese bavele basebhandeni nakemisa kufanda i-PGCE. Kungaba kuhle sibafande onke lawo ma-cohorts lawo njengoba as we speak in ama-first years nakule program yema-humanities lede i-education nabo bayawucedza still babe eligible kokuthi bangafunda for i-PGCE. But ngalokwekuthi kuvela ukuthi labenda ama-humanities without education abacasheki. Uhulumende-ke sosethe i-decision yokuthi it will no longer form a part of ama-priority courses. Sengeke kusaba iprogram lesibhadalelako singuhulumende.
Ngakulokunye indvuna iphindze yaveta ukuthi luhlelo lokuniketwa kwabafunzi ama-allowances selukuphi.
Tiko lisa likubeke esiveni ngokuthi cha kulokufikile last week lokungama invoices litiko likusebentile sibonga nelitiko laka finance lelisibambisile ngetimali njengoba abesolo sisho ukuthi issue akusiyo imali i-issue nglokufanele kwendeke nasekufike ama-invoices. Kulefikile-ke last week litiko libhadele ama-allowances ikakhulu nje laba ongoing ngidawubekisa njengelikoliji lase-UNESCO labo lebas-invoicele bona laba ongoing secishe sibabhadele. Kukhona abafunzi-ke laba ongoing lebangeke bawathola ama-allowances ngalokwekuthi abo emagama awaveli kulama invoices lafikile njengoba I think na itolo sithola lenye i-invoice yabafunzi laba about 40 laba ongoing lokusho ukuthi solo kusachubeka nje asangena kancane ama-invoice nasi-ke sisebenza nasekufike i-invoice.
Indvuna iphindze yaveta ukuthi nakuphela inyanga ya-October 2024 uhulumende utabe sekabhadele imali lenganga 27 million emalangeni kuma-allowances nje kuphela. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni naSmuva Shongwe eMbabane.
Imvona yelitiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla umhlonishwa uMphane Kusile lonkhokhela ithi Eswatini linatha liphindze lisebentise imandi nelive leNingizimu Afrika kanye neMozambique lokwenta ukuthi leSwatini libe ingcenye kwabiwa kwemandi ngemabandla labuke kusebenziseka kwalamandi. Imvona ikuvetelo kwemhlanganweni lobanjelwe e-Egypt lapho kutekwa khona tindzaba temandi lasebenziswa ngemave lahlukene transboundary water management.
Indvuna uMfana Nkosilonkokhela ichaza ngelihlelo lokwabiwa kwemandi emkhathini wemave lahlukene ichaze ukuthi ke imifula lemkhulu lekhona lapha eSwatini ithelela emave yabomakhelwane eSouth Africa kanye neMozambique. Indvuna ithi la Kangwane linemabandla lamathathu. Lekucala ngilelo lelasungulwa emkhathini weleswatini nele-South Africa sivumelwano seminyaka wa-1992 lesibuka kakhulu ukunathisana imandi kwalamave ngemadamu lakhiwa lokulidamu lakumaguga kanye neDriekopies. Lesivumelwano sibuke ngephansi kwelibandla leKomati Water Basin Authority. Indvuna ibese ichaza ngesivumelwano lesikhona emkhathini welive leSwatini kanye neleMozambique lokusivumelwano lesendiwa ngeminyaka wa-1976 lesibese siba sizatfu sekwakhiwa kwendlela yokuthi kwakhiwe emadamu lokulidamu lemjoli kanye nelidamu lePaquanos Libombo. Indvuna iphindze yachazela umhlaba ukuthi kunemsebenzi lokucalile wemandi inamacha cross-border water project. Indvuna iphindze yaveta sivumelwano sekugcina lokuyikhomati and Maputo water course lesekusivumelwano emkhathini weleswatini leSouth Africa kanye neleMozambique. Lesivumelwano sasungulwa ngeminyaka wa-2021. Indvuna ithi letivumelwano tisita ukuthi kushiyelwane lwati etindzabeni tekwabiwa kwemandi nasekuthatseni tincumo. Indvuna ithi ke kuphindze kuhambe nelwati masinyane ikakhulu nangabe kutawuba netinkinga letifaka ekhatsi emandi. Indvuna ke iphindze yaveta ukuthi kuphindze kuhambe lwati masinyane ikakhulu nangabe kutawuba netinkinga letifaka ekhatsi ukuthi emandi angahle abe maningi noma angahle abe mancane. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni eMbabane.
Kanti-ke kutemidlalo umsakazo wetithombe eSwatini TV ngekusebenzisana nenhlangano ye-Premier League of Eswatini somemetele kusakatwa kwemidlalo ye-MTN Premier League lokubheka ukuthi kuqale kule mpelasonto. Umdlalo wekuqala utawusakatwa utawuba emkhathini kweMbabane Highlanders kanye neSisonke FC enkundleni yasenhlangano ye-King Sobhuza Memorial II.
Umsakazo wetithombe eSwatini TV kusebenzisana nenhlangano ye-Premier League of Eswatini babikele sive kuthi imidlalo ye-MTN Premier League yesizini lesetulu itawuqala kusakata kule mpelasonto lesiya kuyo. Lesivumelwano emkhathini kwayo eSwatini TV kanye naye Premier League of Eswatini kuyindlela eqinisekisa ukuthi sive siyakhona ukubukela ibhola yakuleli. Ilunga lelikomiti lelihola yona lenhlangano ye-Premier League of Eswatini Sibusiso Scorpion Nxumalo uthi sive sitawutfola lithuba lekubukela umdlalo wekuqala kule mpelasonto lesiya kuyo.
So Premier League sasithatha lithuba namhla ukuthi siyaqala ngelisonto emkhathini emidlalweni lotaba senhlangano kumkhathini weMbabane Highlanders neSonke FC sitabe sicala khona sihambisa loluhlelo lekuhlola lokuthi singayifaka kanjani TV eSwatini TV ukuthi ibukele selibhola even lakithi laseSwatini. Ngiloko le simemetelo sitha sizivete namuhla ukuthi singiswatini Eswatini Premier League of Eswatini zama kwakho umshado na eSwatini TV ukuthi ibhola lethu sale libonakala bomabona ukuthi basevele.
Ukhulumela umsakazo wetithombe eSwatini TV nomcebo Malinga uchazile ukuthi sive sitawujabula kakhulu njengoba besilo silambele kubukela ibhola yalapha evening.
So siyajabula ngeSwatini TV ukuthi namhla sikhonela lokuthi nisithembe with your product PLA. We are going to make you proud as well. We will not tarnish your product. Instead, we are going to make sure that we market it fully and make sure that this marriage is not going to be short term, but it's going to be long term. We are ready. We are willing and able. Sunday is going to happen. Sing Eswatini TV corner. So Njegoria Shosha Sivu Namagume Siskeden Siva Kuti wonke muntu aga tune into Eswatini TV atobona the first matches I broadcaster nayo ke kulomshado lomusha lesipanawo na PLA. Sibonga nje kakhulu Sing Eswatini TV bola siyadu kusila Kangwane. It's a lifestyle and it's culture And our players, they need this platform. Ukuthi nabo bakhona ukuthi noma sebaqedile ukudlala e-stadium sebasemakhaya, bayakhona ukuthi bangene kumbe batibone etindzabeni ukuthi oh, that was me on the field. That's an added value futhi. We're not only going to be live lapha kule screen, we're also going to be live streaming ku YouTube channel yakwaSwatini TV. So lapho that content is going to be readily available.
Ukusakata kwayo imidlalo ye-M10 Premier League kuyindlela yomsakato wetitfombe eSwatini TV ekutama kutfutfukisa tinhlelo takuleli kakhulukazi tinhlelo letitsandvwa ngilabanyenti njengoba abatsanzi bemidlalo yebhola batawukhona ukubukela ibhola yaseNgilandi nakusakatwa njalo ngabomgcibelo bese kuthi ngelisonto babukela ibhola yalapha ekhaya. Libikile umsakato eSwatini TV kutemidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanzombe kuhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
Satiphetsa ngaleto temidlalo emva kwekhefu sidabe sikhulumisana nebaka FNB kwamanje asinshine semasotulu.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 762222000 or dial *007 *3 *7 hash. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom I'm a very, 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 very happy customer.
I know.
Imali ebhizinisi ayidliwa wayidla udabulala phansi.
Hayi ngimsebenzi yethu lesiyendako la ekhaya njengoba niyibona lilitenda kangaka.
Ngiyakolosha, which is crocheting.
Ngiyakhicita ke noko kakhulu emsebenzini wethu ikhumba.
Ngiyenda kwegaba emaqiqi nokwegaba entsanyeni.
Ngilungisa emagedlela.
Hello, how are you? We are selling peanuts at 5. Thank you so much. Umdala kubusi. Find the strat, babe.
All right, welcome back to the show. Let's dive into now a very, very crucial discussion that has impacted many businesses and individuals over the past month. The CMA migration, I'm sure you've heard of it. It's been 30 days since it took place. And as with any major change, there's been a mix of experiences from customers. Now, to help us unpack what has been happening over this period, I am joined by two experts from FNB, Thembisi Lombo, who is the head of customer experience, and Zilindile Friedman, who is the payments head. They will be giving us insights on the developments, how the Forex platform has been enhanced, and what the customer experience has been like as this has unfolded. Let's get right into it. Thembi, Zilindile, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Perhaps the first question is just, giving us an overview, really, of what has happened over the past 30 days since the CMA migration. I understand it's a regional thing.
Thank you for inviting us over. Certainly, we have received quite, it's been a mixed sentiment from a customer perspective. Right. There are customers that have quickly adapted to the change, and there are those that are still continuing to adapt. Some customers have struggled initially, but as they do more and more transactions, we are seeing that they are catching on and they are now transacting smoothly. Yeah. We have continued to enhance our customer education. We have listened into what customers are asking to say, what else, how other ways can the bank do to make us understand this a bit better. We have shared step-by-step guides in terms of how do they make the transactions, how do they create a beneficiary, etc., etc. What are the requirements? Where do they find balance of payments, codes, etc., etc. on our platforms? So that has continued. From an F&B standpoint, we've also continued to enhance our channel and simplify where customers find things. One of which, in terms of enhancements that have already gone live, we listened when customers were saying it's a bit difficult to find South Africa in terms of when I'm creating a beneficiary. Yeah. We've then simplified that based on the transactions and made it one of the top countries that you see automatically without needing to search. But you can still invoke the search button where required when you are searching for any other country. Yeah. We have noted also some businesses offering alternative ways in terms of how then do you respond or make a payment in light of the complexities that customers might be experiencing. They would like to encourage that please exercise caution, because if a person is not licensed to provide a payment service, you are walking into fraud or might be exposed to fraud risk. Just exercise caution when you experience that. But where there is navigation issues that we can assist with, we've got our team where they can call in, get assisted. We walk them through at their leisure, be it at home or at work. We are happy to assist. Yeah. We also have welcomed the developments from a regulatory front, where the CBE has just made things a little bit easier. What the changes that have been introduced mean from customer perspective, it says if your transaction is 1 million and below, when you are receiving money, you don't necessarily need to come to the bank or do something anymore. It will only be for transactions that are 1 million and above for individuals. For businesses, if there's incoming funds, up to 5 million, they don't need to give us a BOP code because it has already been provided by the person that initiated the transaction. But a customer, if they have a view that the BOP code that was provided slightly needs to be changed based on their understanding of the funds that might be slightly different, they are still welcome to make the change. But overall, we are picking up that customers are adapting. That is also evident in the transactions that we are seeing. There hasn't been much impact, but where customers still need help, our help is still there.
Interesting indeed. I want to understand, first of all, I do acknowledge that this is happening within the CMA countries. There's South Africa, there's Lesotho, there's Namibia. And my understanding is that this is still Central African time, but I also want to acknowledge that we operate using different times. I don't know. In Swaziland, we start working at 8, others start at 8:30, and some end at 3, some end at 5, some at 4:30. What are the operating hours for this particular development since it's now integrated regionally?
Thank you, morning. Maybe just to take that one. So in terms of cut-off times, yes, the change has been there when it comes to cut-off times because customers are used to transacting at any given point in time, be it during the day or during the night or on weekends. But with the CMA migration, there has been a change in cut-off times, so customers can be able to make payments Monday to Friday from 8 to 3:30 p.m. as well as on weekends. Customers cannot make payments on weekends and on holidays if the holiday is affecting the country that the money is being sent to or the country that is initiating the payment is on a holiday on that particular day. So there has been the change in terms of cut-off times.
It's very interesting, but I suppose another big question is, and I know you did mention that, you know, it's very important that customers, while they experience difficulties or just challenges at varying levels, you girls are always there to help them understand or navigate this experience. But I do want to understand some of the notable challenges that these customers have faced in terms of BOP codes. You've mentioned cut-off times, of course, but proof of payment delays, reversals and associated charges. Yeah, could you take me through those as well?
Okay, so just maybe just to add in as well on the cut-off times is that as much as there are cut-off times on when payments can be processed, because the 8 a.m. to the 3:30 p.m. it is the processing time that we can process transactions. But what customers also need to be aware of is that they can still initiate payments outside of the cut-off times in their comfort of their home. Say, for example, at 8 p.m., you can still initiate your payment, but it will only be processed on the following day as a working day from the 8 a.m. So customers just need to be aware of that. So then in terms of customer experience that we've noted from customers, we have seen customers adjusting to the change, and also what benefited us the most as well as customers is that the channels that customers currently used to or they were used to before are still the same platforms that they're using to transact for CMA payments. So for instance, customers were using online banking to make payments. Even now they are using online banking as well as the FNB app, but the only change is just the way they have been making those payments, as opposed to just logging in and going to payment and then you make a payment. Now they need to go in and go into the Forex tab. So in terms of navigation, we've seen customers adjusting, but what we have noted coming through is just a challenge around capturing the information, because now as we are using the Forex rail, there are key details that customers need to be cognizant of. Say, for instance, the name of the beneficiary that you're making payment to, it needs to be captured correctly. So we are used to nicknames, you know, some call me T, you know, some call Zilindile Z. But when you make that payment, you shouldn't use the name Z because it's a nickname. So you need to capture it in full, Zilindile. You know, even if you're paying me, you need to capture it in full, Tembisi Lombo. So those are the challenges that we've seen customers experiencing. So you would find that the beneficiary name differs from their account number. We've also seen customers struggling with capturing BOP codes. So customers wanted to memorize those BOP codes, yet you don't need to memorize it.
Yeah.
Because when you make the payment, there is that search bar, the BOP search bar. You just need to capture that particular name depending on the purpose of that payment that you are making, and then the list of BOP codes are going to just show as a list underneath that BOP search bar. So customers don't need to memorize those things.
Yeah.
But the main challenge has been capturing details.
Okay, maybe let's move away from challenges a little bit and talk about how customers and businesses rather benefit from this, because it is being called an enhancement anyway. So, you know, how does FNB ensures that these enhancements to the Forex platform benefit both individual customers and businesses alike? If you can share maybe specific examples. Z.
I think broadly it is just a requirement for how cross-border transactions. So it's important for countries from a balance of payments perspective to be clear that money that leaves Eswatini to go to another country, what is the reason for that? And money that is coming in, what is the reason for that? From a whole country financial standpoint, that benefit, that visibility is required for every country. So that is the basis for the migration and creating that visibility. The way that we were doing payments before did not allow for full visibility, hence the additional requirements to say where I'm sending the money or the details that are for the recipient. Where do they live? What is the purpose that we are transacting between each other? Who are they? So those are all the details that are now required. So we are creating visibility in the financial sector from a countrywide perspective with us onboarding onto this.
It's very, very important, and I see why that becomes very important. I do want to understand that because you did mention that, you know, some businesses have come forward to offer some alternatives during this migration period. What precautions should customers take when considering these alternatives, as well as, you know, to just ensure they're making informed and safe decisions?
So I think with every migration, the early stages are sort of like a stabilization period, and customers also understanding and stabilizing on their own. We are seeing entities offering services of sending your cash cross-border on your behalf. That is certainly not encouraged because you don't know the person. Are they registered? Are they a financial services provider? You need to be certain of that part. The best way to do it is to facilitate transactions for yourself. And that opportunity has been created by, I am not sure as a customer how to navigate. And from an FNB perspective, we are saying, come through, let us know, we'll come to you, we'll call you, we'll walk you through to make it easy, just so that your money is also protected. There has been, though that is usually in response to, I need to send money quickly, it's a remittance. When a customer pays attention to the cutoff times, they will not have an issue. The other part that customers have not quite understood, they are linking this to the ability of my card being able to work when I'm across the border. Yet your card will continue working as it was. It is not being impacted by this change. The change is just now the electronic sending of money cross-border. So there are a lot of myths or interpretations that we are continuously dispelling from a customer perspective, and that is one of them. And that gap in fully understanding that, no, I can still do it, make a payment with my card, I can still have a travel and spend using my card, that is what we are just punting and continuing to explain to customers so that they don't fall prey to these opportunities that some people are identifying.
Are we able to speak now on the issue of managing reversals and associated charges? T?
Yes. So as much as this is new from a customer perspective, so with the errors that I just highlighted, you would find that when you've made an error with the name differing from the account number, so that payment is not going to go through, but it will be returned. So there are no fees in terms of errors. So we are not charging customers for making errors. So if you've made an error, the payment is going to come back, and we are going to call the customer and sort of guide, just give guidance to say this is how you should have made the payment, and then we reinitiate the payment, and then it goes again. So we are not charging customers for return of funds.
Yeah.
We do understand that it's a journey that we just need to work together.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how specific this, name inputting thing is, because my name is Sifiso, so it's S-I, and a lot of people call me Sfiso, so they omit the I after the first S. Does it bounce when you write Sfiso? Because yesterday people would, send me something with Sfiso and it would go through.
Yes, so in terms of the minor errors like omitting an I, it is not an issue. So if you do Sifiso without the I, it will still go through. It is when you've either made the payment and captured initials. Say maybe you say TS Dlamini, so it is not going to go through because there are so many TS Dlaminis. So you just need to capture the name in full. And also just to be also aware of is that when you're making a payment, maybe just confirm with the beneficiary the name that they used when opening their account, because we also see the same with businesses. You find that a business opened an account with a certain name, but when maybe they start trading, they use different names as their trade names. So just confirm the details of the person that you're making a payment to before you make the payment. So just to ensure that the payment is seamless, it doesn't get rejected or it's returned back. And also just to make customers aware of, in terms of the turnaround times when it comes to return of funds. So yes, you do find that it takes between 5 to 7 working days for the payment to be returned. So hence it is important that before you make a payment, just call Sifiso and confirm the banking details so that you capture the information correctly.
I see you wanted to chime into that.
Yes, I just wanted to add, Logotsi, if you are asking for banking details for anyone that's cross-border, they must give you the name, the account number. Usually we'll just ask for the account number in the past because we know Sfiso, just from our own personal relationship. So now you have to ask the exact name. For instance, Zilindile and my second name. You'd find that in other instances an account uses the first name or I'm now called a lot more by my second name versus my first name that is in my ID, and the bank has used that ID. So it's important that you just get the exact account name convention that has been used by the account holder, not just the account number only.
How confident are you with the sharing of knowledge amongst customers or your individual customers and businesses? You did mention that, how they are grasping this change or this migration is at varying stages. Some have, I think you should be satisfied now with how some have, come to sort of grasp this whole migration. Do you advise that they teach each other on the ground?
So we've walked a journey from an F&B perspective. We started with just sending direct emailers to customers that are saying this is the change that's happening and this is how it's going to impact you. If you are a business, note these certain things. If you are an individual, note these certain things. And that was the first part. We then went on verbal communication in the various platforms that are available in the country, just so that we speak to the emailers that we've been sending or the communications that customers are sending. We've taken that a step further to say, okay, this is what it is. This is how it impacts you. Okay, what are questions that we are seeing or are anticipating that you will come up with? We've broken those down. One of them is I have a child in South Africa. How do I make sure I can sustain them, send them money monthly like I used to? And we've answered all those questions. And then we've further said, okay, step by step, we've written it down to say, this is the step, this is the step. We've made it videos now to say, now you're on the FNB app, click here, click here, click here. We've done that for all the steps in terms of one, you creating the beneficiary, you creating, making the payment, and you then making payments going forward. What we are seeing then is some of those customers might have missed that communication. When they have missed it, they do call us through our call center. We send them through, we connect them again, they have access to that. What we are now seeing further, or as a response to the social media engagement that we are doing through our various platforms, is now to say further questions. And what we are seeing is customers responding to each other, which is quite encouraging. It says they are understanding and they are able to then shape, because they've also done it and have seen that it does work in certain areas. And issues where they've had that needed to get help, they got help, and then they're able to also respond on our behalf to help others, which is very encouraging. So it is there, but customers are, we still want them to call us. We've made it easy. We've got our toll-free that is dedicated to this transition and any payments related question that they can call. We've got emails, we've got WhatsApp, they can access us in various ways.
Okay, we have literally 20 seconds, 20 plus 30 seconds to answer this question. The businesses that are struggling with omitting teens, how do you respond to that? Just quickly.
Yes, so in terms of teens, business customers just need to be aware that they need to submit TIN numbers to us. So they do have relationship managers that they can reach out to and submit their TINs. So it is important that they do submit those TIN numbers, because without a TIN number, a business cannot make a payment within the CMA countries. They can also not receive payments. We've seen businesses receiving payments and then we need to reach out to them to request for TIN numbers. So it is important that they freely do share with us their TIN numbers. But also just to highlight in terms of the customer support that we have offered, as Lindile was just mentioning, that customers can call in for support. So we do have a customer support center that is available for customers to reach out and get support. We have a dedicated toll-free number just dedicated for payments. It's 800-1100 that customers can reach us to. They can also use an email address, which is gethelp@fnb.co.za. And there's also a WhatsApp number, which is 7802-9591. So we have just enabled and availed these different channels so that customers can be able to make use of either, depending on the need of the customer or which channel is more available for them to use. So we are here as FNB to walk the journey with our customers.
All right. Thank you so much. This has been really, really insightful. Tembi Silombo, Head of Customer Experience, and Zilindile Friedman, Payments Head at FNB. They have shared with us their expertise on the CMA migration and how it's been shaping the customer experience. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go for a quick ad break. We'll be back shortly with our traffic update.
Meet Tando. She's taking control of her health with the PrEP ring. The PrEP ring is a small, flexible silicone ring that you insert into your private parts once a month. It releases medication that helps prevent HIV. It's discreet, convenient, and fits seamlessly into your life. With the PrEP ring, you can reduce your risk of HIV infection and focus on what matters most. Empower yourself with the PrEP ring, your monthly shield against HIV. Worried about side effects? Most people on PrEP experience minimal side effects. Choose the PrEP ring to prevent HIV.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Ngosilenhle sonibukela Kusile breakfast show uhlelo lwanga lesibili kulesikhathi senyalo sitawutfola kuva ukuthi labasipopolela imigwaco ukuthi ime kanjani. Khubonye waNdlovu siyakuvusela ngcamane ngabe nani sipopolela imigwaco lamuhla ime kanjani.
Anguvusele ngabe inkosi size ngivusele nabo naye umbukeli womsakazo wethu phela sibuko sesize. Imigwaco yethu sesihlolile even Eswatini lesinako nje lokuphuthuma ukuthi lapha Espiki ephophonyane emkhathini ephophonyane bridge nembongolo umgwaco uvalekile emva kokuthi kube neloli lewako phela namhla ekushubeni dasekuseni kungashayi 4 lokukhona lokundeka konje nyalo ukuthi ema trucks nemabhasi nemabhekari akakhona ukuthi engwe imoto letincane tiyakhona ke ukuthi tiyenge ngekusitwa ngo emaphoyisa tabate ukuthi kusuke leloli lapha emgwaqweni tiyendiwa nyalo ekseni nalapha kumalandi nawusuka lapha emalandi esitolo unyukela lapha kumnyokana nakhona sikhanda ukuthi kune truck lefele khona lapha emgwaqweni imoto setisharisha lo mzila lobheka khona Espiki kucela nje ukuthi bashayeli babeketelelane baphinde bahloniphane nalapho ke nasehla sibeka khona kamanzini tiba netemgwaco eFootliner adisebenzi nalamuhla kucela nje ukuthi bashaye abahloniphane baphinde babeketelelane lokunye lokuchubeka kamanzini umsebenzi wokwakha wona umgwaco lapha emangwaneni ubeka khona emathayini uyaqhubeka ikhona ke timpawu temgwaco letibekile leticaphelisa bona abashayeli phinde baphoqelele siyacela ukuthi inhlonipho ichubeke kubashayeli nato tisebenzi temgwaco nasichubeka sibeka khona emafutheni nakhona umsebenzi wokwakha sona sicango uyachubeka timpawu temgwaco tikhona ke letibekiwe futhi ke umgwaco sophinde uncishisiwe wendiwe umzila munye ucela nje ukuthi bashayeli bahloniphe phela timpawu temgwaco letibekiwe taphasi kanye nato tisebenzi temgwaco nasichubeka sibeka khona esteki lapha na ukhuphuka F10 ubheke khona esteki lapha ungefiki ethangeni lemandila kawater nakhona kunebhasi lefele khona emgwaqweni ucela nje ukuthi bashayeli banabashayela khona bashayele ngicophelela khona lokhulu kakhulu nakhona taba tekususa yona le bhasi emgwaqweni ikhona ledendiwako nasisachubeka kuhlola yona imigwaco tinkhomo titholakele lapha endaweni yasesigodlo nakugege ucela ukuthi bashayele ngecophelela basahamba leto ndzawo leto ingakho lesinato namuhla ngabayenkosi.
Khubonye waNdlovu sibonga kakhulu ngcamane kusipha lo mbiko lo sethembe bachube imotolo batawucaphela titsikabeto letikhona sibahlola etimakethe nizabade singisi masibuya.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
abaresearche bafunze
being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula
nathi kufuna sende ukukhicita lokusembili
Ujala masoda mahle kunathi lesa.
sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho
sifile sive sitikhulume
Welcome back to the program. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show. This is the Wednesday edition. These are our English news. His Majesty King Eswatini III has met with the Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, His Excellency Q Dong Yu, at the FAO headquarters in Rome. While in Italy, His Majesty also met with the King of the Kingdom of Lesotho.
Apart from the World Food Forum, His Majesty King Mswati III had other side meetings. His Majesty the King Andy Ngwenyama met with the Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization, His Excellency Q Dong Yu. His Majesty met with the Director General at the Food and Agriculture Organization headquarters, which is in Rome. The organization is the one that has organized the ongoing World Food Forum that was also attended by His Majesty the King. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, is a specialized agency of the United Nations leading international efforts to defeat hunger. His Majesty the King and the Director General had deliberations on how the organization will continue to support Eswatini, as the organization is already committed in supporting Eswatini government and the quest to enhance agricultural food systems through the Hand-in-Hand initiative. After the meeting with the Director General, His Majesty King Mswati III signed the visitor's book, which will confirm His Majesty's visit to the headquarters in future.
Real, yes. You see, that's the real founder of the one 20 years ago. He started the first international actually civilian leader.
Food security is one of the initiatives that have been put in place by His Majesty, as the King has always encouraged the nation to produce enough food so that the kingdom could be able to feed the whole country and export some. The King and Ngwenyama also met with the King of the Kingdom of Lesotho, His Majesty King Letsie III. The Kingdom of Eswatini and the Kingdom of Lesotho have long-standing bilateral relations. The two countries have had this relationship for so many years, and it has benefited the people of both countries. His Majesty the King and Ngwenyama had bilateral talks with the Basotho King, where they discussed ideas of further strengthening the relations and also shared ideas on how both countries may develop economically. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia with Temba Mamba in Rome, Italy.
Youth participants from the Kingdom of Eswatini, who are part of the 2024 World Food Forum in Rome, have revealed that this is a great opportunity for them, as the forum has put young people at the forefront of the initiative of improving food security and achieving the transformation of agri-food systems. Now, the forum, which was attended by His Majesty King Mswati III and world leaders, has brought together young people from all over the world.
The World Food Forum is putting the youth at the forefront in efforts to tackle hunger, ensuring good food for all, for today and tomorrow. The event has brought together young people from around the world, including Eswatini, to the Food and Agriculture Organization headquarters. Youth participants from Eswatini have revealed that this is a great opportunity for them, as the Kingdom of Eswatini should not be left out, as the world is working towards ending hunger and ensuring food security. A student from the University of Eswatini, Andiswa Shongwe, who is currently studying agricultural economics and business management at Luyengo campus, said there are a lot of factors affecting food security.
We have benefited much deeper knowledge about food security and the hidden cost, and we are taking home motivation for the youth, ways in which we can try and address the hidden cost to food security, including both genders in agriculture. It can also be ways of using climate smart agriculture. It can also be ways in which the governments, especially the Ministry of Agriculture, can collaborate with smallholder farmers or the youth in helping them to access markets.
Maibongwe Vilagati, who is doing the same course at the University of Eswatini, pointed out that there is a role that they are expected to play in ensuring that people access healthy and nutritious food.
We want to make sure that we minimize the people that develop non-communicable diseases like diabetes, because we believe that the food that we eat, it should be healthy, it should be healthy in such a way that it doesn't lead us to get sicknesses, a lot of sicknesses, because it becomes costly for the government. We want to make sure that the people know about the food, and they have to make sure that the food that they eat the food as medicine. Because when it gets to a point where they eat medicine as food, then it becomes costly for them and for the government in such a way that the government has to pay for their health.
The forum has also brought together young leaders and professionals. Osipayo Manyati from the Young Professionals in Agriculture and Rural Development in Eswatini said, as young people, they are expected to come up with innovative ideas to deal with the hunger challenge.
So inhlangano namhlanje ngimelele la eRome, it's Smiling Through Farming kanye na YPAD Eswatini. So ngiyethemba Smiling Through sesigile samubona indzaweni letinengi. So siyinhlangano nje yebalimi, sinkampani yebalimi labancane labalima legumes, especially bean seed. And I am also the Eswatini FAO country program face. So my programs na FAO to promote youth inclusion, especially in relation to agriculture, where now YPAD comes in. YPAD young professionals in agriculture and rural development. So basically YPAD inhlangano le global outreach with more than 50 countries participating in. It's young people basically harnessing each other's potential and capacity and abilities. Utsinga bevele la agriculture yin lesingayenda ukuze sibe ne productivity le high, ukuze futhi sende kudla lokutawa safe, sende futhi ema innovations la tawenda ukuze sitfole maximum yields.
The youth program under the forum is giving the young people an opportunity to share ideas from the youth perspective. And the news in Polile Mazia with Temba Mamba in Italy.
Coordination and collaboration of various industry players in transport and business sectors can help the country to release exponential growth in the tourism sector. These sentiments were expressed by the Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Honorable Jane Simelane. She said these at a welcome dinner that was hosted by South African influencers invited to the Kingdom of Eswatini by the Royal Eswatini National Airways Corporation. This was in the bid to promote its airline, Eswatini Air. The event was held at Summerfield in Nogwane.
The South African influencers have been enlisted to help disseminate information on their experiences in the kingdom's tourism sector, beginning with the airline Eswatini Air. The influencers are Connie Ferguson, Jessica Ngosi, Namusa Dlomo, Rorisang, Matema, and Kabelo Mohale.
For tourism to flourish in Eswatini, we need a multi-sectoral approach. As a country, we are tapping onto the bigger continental dream, the dream of an open sky that seeks to encourage intra-Africa tourism. And please receive our warmest welcome to the beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Royal Eswatini National Airways Corporation, Qiniso Dlamini, says the relationship between his organization and the Eswatini Tourism Authority will see more and more people coming into the kingdom.
Our motto is that everyone must fly. It must just be seen as another mode of transport. And for us, it's a mode that is even safer, and it's the safest mode of transport. Flying, because all the checks and balances that are put into place.
Delivering her remarks on behalf of the influencers, Nomusa Dlomo heaped praises on the country's airline for its excellent service and hospitality.
We believe that this great initiative will definitely yield the desirable outcomes for Eswatini Air, for Eswatini tourism, and for the Kingdom of Eswatini. I'm listening to the Minister of Tourism. I'm like, okay, we paid so much to fly to Barbados, but little. I mean, there was absolutely little that we could take from that except for the beaches. But now here we are, right next to our country, South Africa. We've got a nation, we've got a country with so many beautiful sites to visit.
The Minister of Tourism and Environment Affairs has set itself a target of 2 million tourists spending over 2 billion in Malangeni by the year 2027. Reporting, Mbongwa Dube, Smovashongwe, Nogwane.
The Honourable Minister of Labour and Social Security, Phila Buthelezi, has announced that Cabinet has resolved that postgraduate certificate in education will indeed be funded for the academic year 2024-2025. Buthelezi says the ministry has also resolved that the Bachelor of Arts in Humanities will no longer be funded at the University of Eswatini. The minister made these announcements in his office in Mbabane.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Honourable Phila Buthelezi, has informed students studying at the University of Eswatini that Cabinet has resolved that PGCE will be funded for this academic year and will cease being funded at the end of 2028-2029.
Uhulumende ke ulalele ukukhala kwabafundi ngoba bayasho ukuthi abakhona ukucasheka nabendela ama-humanities ngaphandle kwale PGCE. Kanti ikhona iprogram yama-humanities with education eKhatsi lesiyifundako. Uhulumende ke ubese sowubuka lokuthi kukhona bese bavele basebhandeni nakemisa kufunda iPGCE. Kungaba kuhle sibafunde onke lawo ma-cohorts lawo.
The minister says student who wishes to pursue the program, application dates and logistics will be communicated in due course. The minister further announced that the ministry will no longer fund the Bachelor of Arts in Humanities with effect from academic year 2025-2026. The minister says this is because the program does not form part of the priority areas of study. The minister says all students wishing to pursue the program next year, 2025, should be self-funded.
Cha kulokufikile last week lokunama invoices litiko likusebentile sibonga nelitiko laka finance lelisibambisile ngetimali njengoba abesolo sisho ukuthi issue akusiyo imali i-issue ngokufanele kwendeke nasekufike ema invoices.
On another note, the minister provided an update on the disbursement of student allowances. The minister says the cause of delay was that institutions provided invoices late. The minister says the ministry is still receiving invoices as of now. Buthelezi says the ministry has disbursed 22.6 million emalangeni, and the ministry projects that by the 30th of October 2024, about 27.6 million emalangeni will be paid. The Eswatini TV News, Sondo Mlangeni, Smuvashongwe, Babane.
The Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Senator Prince Lonkokela, says Eswatini shares all its major rivers with one or two of its neighboring countries, being the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Mozambique. The minister says to improve and facilitate cooperation on water resources management and development, the countries have established commissions that provide platforms for cooperation. The minister was speaking during the transboundary water management meeting held in Egypt.
The Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Honourable Prince Lonkokela, participated in a transboundary water management meeting in Egypt. The minister highlighted the kingdom's commitment to regional cooperation on water resources. The minister says Eswatini shares its major rivers with neighboring countries, notably the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Mozambique. The minister says through various agreements, including the Joint Water Commission established in 1992 with South Africa and the Umbulezi Agreement of 1976 with Mozambique, Eswatini has created frameworks for effective water management and resource sharing. The minister also says the Joint Water Commission with South Africa focused on the Komati River Basin, where two critical dams, the Maguga Dam in Eswatini and Ricopis in South Africa, facilitate water resource development. The minister says currently the 1992 Kopwa Treaty is under review to address emerging issues such as climate change. Meanwhile, the Umbaluzi Agreement with Mozambique oversees water sharing ratio for the White and Black Mbuluzi rivers with ongoing studies aimed at reviewing the 1976 agreement. The minister says a recent sword-cutting ceremony marked the beginning of the Lomahasha-Namacha cross-border water project, which promises benefit for communities in both countries. The minister further stated that the Inkomati and Maputo Watercourse Commission was established in 2021, succeeding the tripartite Permanent Technical Committee. The minister says this new commission aims at enhancing coordination and management of shared water resources among the three nations. The minister highlighted several advantages of this transboundary initiative, including knowledge sharing, capacity building, and increased infrastructure development. The minister says Eswatini strives to improve the quality of life for its citizens while promoting sustainable water management practices across the region. Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Mbabane.
The Minister of ICT, Senator Savannah Mazia, says the African population is expected to reach 2.5 billion in the next 2 decades. She says this population will be predominantly young and therefore there is a need to interrogate how governments can ensure that these young people benefit from the AI-driven future that is currently being built. The minister has said this when giving her keynote address at the GTEx 2020-24 in Dubai.
AI has the potential to contribute an astounding $16 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Africa, our beautiful continent, is projected to secure 1.2 trillion of this. For context, the current economy stands at $3.1 trillion. Imagine the transformative impact of a single sector contributing such a significant share. In the next 2 decades, our continent's population is expected to reach 2.5 billion people, and it will be youthful and full of potential. How do we ensure that these young people benefit from the AI-driven future we are building? How can we guarantee that Africa will not just be a participant, but a key player in this emerging economy? Over a decade ago, His Majesty the King of Eswatini, in his vision and wisdom, established the Royal Science and Technology Park, RSTP. With a population of 1.2 million, predominantly young and educated, Eswatini set out to become a significant force in the digital economy. Today, that vision is alive, and RSTP stands as a hub for innovation, housing a Tier 3 data center, and about to host 2 Tier 4 data centers, making Eswatini future-proof and a digital-first nation. We are leveraging this world-class infrastructure to lead the way in AI, biotechnology, data equity, geographical inclusion, and cybersecurity, as well as incubating businesses that transform government services, making them more efficient and accessible.
Misconduct in the real estate industry will rake up to 250,000 Malangeni once the Real Estate Agents Bill of 2023 has been passed into a law. The Director of Housing and Human Settlement, Begitemba Matsebula, shared during an interview with business journalist Nelson Ndlangamandla, where he detailed the contents of the bill.
We have been working with the Attorney General's office, who are drafting the bill on our behalf. So right now we are almost at the end. We have a pre-final document right now, which will thereafter be presented to Cabinet for consideration Once it is approved at cabinet level, then it will go down to parliament for piloting. The bill, in terms of what it is trying to address per se, is to provide for the regulation of the practice of real estate agents in the country. We know right now that they are not regulated the way they do things. You find that some they work from their car booths, some they do not even have offices and all that. So basically, that is what it is trying to address. And secondly, is to provide for the monitoring of trust accounts that we want maybe estate agents to have maybe trust accounts so that we know that in the event that transactions that will be carried out, those monies are not lost out somewhere. Instead, they have to be put into a trust account so that the beneficiaries and everybody who's participating maybe in that process can eventually benefit from the whole process. So according to Section 20 of the proposed bill, is to the effect that any person who contravenes paragraph 1, which is the one on dual representation, shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 60,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 12 months or to both. On discipline, if the board finds a real estate agent in breach of professional conduct, it may do any one or more of the following. It can order the estate agent to pay a disciplinary fine not exceeding 250,000 emalangeni.
22 funeral homes have formed the Eswatini Funeral Practitioners Association, and the director of the association, Musa Vilagati, says they felt the need to form the association not only to better transform their businesses, but to also ensure they benefit fully from the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act, which aims to ensure that, amongst other things, some sectors of the economy are reserved for locals.
As government gears up to start implementing the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act, funeral home businesses are positioning themselves to benefit. This has been evidenced by the formation of an association. The director, Musa Vilagati, says this giant step will ensure proper development for their businesses.
The reason of coming together, it's one to be a voice of the undertakers. When we engage with the government, when we engage with the institutions that regulate the industry. We also want to be a voice that assists the clients to say, as an association, as undertaker business, this is what is expected of the profession. This is what clients should expect from an undertaker. We also want to develop relations, like here we're working with Business Eswatini to say there are institutions which are professional, there are institutions that are employer organizations, labor organizations, and those that do international relations in the space of the funerals. We want to work with those in terms of promoting our aspirations.
The director further said the association will look into tailor-made solutions for their clients as some continue to face financial challenges. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Manzini.
The cotton industry in Eswatini offers numerous opportunities for new cotton farmers. Jokoniam Msibi, the technical manager of the Eswatini Cotton Board, says that the board is currently training farmers in preparation for the farming season.
The Eswatini Cotton Board is actively conducting regional workshops to prepare farmers for the current cotton farming season. The government of Eswatini has announced that all farmers will receive 10 kg of cotton seeds for free this year, aimed at increasing cotton production in Eswatini.
Cotton uhlanyelwa kusukela mhla 15 October uyogcina 30 November. So siyakhuthata lokuthi sengiyiso vele lesikhathi lesi
During a workshop, the board's technical manager, Jokonia Msibi, says it is important for farmers to exercise timely planting. Msibi says the cotton farming season officially commenced on October 15 up until the end of October, and farmers who delay planting beyond this date risk losing a bale of cotton. Msibi explains that these workshops are essential to ensure farmers are equipped and ready to enter the fields at the right time. Msibi says there are significant opportunities in the cotton industry. Aspiring cotton farmer Mabandla Mkachwa of Lwandle expressed enthusiasm for the initiative, stating that he is eager to grow cotton, particularly because the government will be providing free seeds.
Tsandzeka kakhulu ukuba cotton board batakunika lisaka le 10 kg. Lusho ukuthi ke noma ngabe mina bengiyinte labo bozuka sengathi ngihlaleleni.
The cotton industry in Eswatini is poised for expansion, especially with the upcoming Konvongwavuma project, which will dedicate approximately 10,000 hectares to cotton cultivation. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Smuva Shongwe, Manzini.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Kusile Breakfast Show, the Wednesday edition. These are our sports news, making the top story across all major news today. Eswatini TV, in conjunction with the Premier League of Eswatini, have announced the official broadcasting partnership of MTN League games live on Eswatini TV. The official broadcast kicks off this weekend between Babane Highlanders and Sisonke FC, a game that is going to be played at King Sopuza Memorial the Second Stadium in Nhlangano. On another story, Eswatini Coaches Association Chairman Anthony Mdluli has expressed the need to see clubs having the required number of coaches on the technical bench. The coaches are head coach, assistant coach, fitness coach, and goalkeeper coach. All right, this is the end of our second bulletin of our program today, and certainly marks the end of this segment. Let's go for a net break. We'll be back shortly with an interview.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7 hash. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. And And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 1199004337. Don't forget, when paying for your viewers' TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Asimenze sikuvuzele sikumukela nalo sanza kusivule lapha sivetele ukuthi sizabe sikhulumisana na director losuka itikule teklima kanye nalosuka enhlanganweni iFood Agriculture Organization njengoba kumlo sinomhlamhlangene kubhalona lisuku le World Food Day. Asinivusele babe mavuso sikuvusela nawe babe mondlane langa lelibalekile lamuhla kini leni buketo natindzaba teklima si celebration like commemorate a World Food Day kuma nje langacala ngawo nje babe mondlane kusichazele lokuthi lusuku lolu kanganani and how do we align as si-aligna kanjani sine silive leSwatini nesicubulo salonyaka?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sisi i-World Food Day ngathi lusuku lapho khona simhlaba senda celebration si appreciate ukuba khona kwekudla emhlabeni wonke lokuphinze kube i-birthday futhi FAO like ngidasho ukuthi lonyaka FAO uthena 8 years so njalo mhla ka-16 October siyesendele World Food Day in commemoration of establishment ya FAO as one of the international organizations le supporta ikudla emhlabeni wonke jikelele and ke FAO thina sithi aligna kakhulu nekudla ngoba sithi wonke umfaka abe ne-access to kudla loku nutritious loku healthy loku diverse for us to have a healthy life ngoba senge-FAO sifocus kakhulu ekuthenini ukuze sibonke abantu babe nekudla si-supporta i-better production better environment, better nutrition, leading to a better life. So konke lokhu ngifolo kunasekuhlanganisa lokhu contribute towards our strategic intent as FAO towards ensuring ukuthi bonke abantu emhlabeni banako kudla lokuphephile lokukahle badokhona kuphila.
Yeah, ngibuye ngako director babe mavuso ngabe vele kuva nje ukuthi ngimaphe efforts noma ke imitamo le ndiwa live ngekubambisana netinhlangano fire cards bona ba FAO naba World Vision konke siqiniseka nje ukuthi kunekudla lokwanele even ngabe are we on the right track in kwena siqiniseka sokuthi siyalifeza ligoli la kamhlaba le council number 2 lokuthi we must end hunger sisahamba kahle indlela.
Ngibonge Eswatini TV kuthola lithuba le kudala silamuhla sitokumbutha netokutsata eMaswati ukuthi litiko hulumende wembube usemkhankasweni ukuthi bonke abantu bafinyelele ekudleni lokwanele lo nutritious njengoba sashito umlingani singuhulumende sibambisene nalaba ngibona bantu labasilekelelako ukuze sitofika kulo mgomo leswendako ukuthi si-achieve i-food sovereignty in the country kudla lesikhiqidile lesikudla kusibengilele sikhiqidile lapha umbuto wakho ke lothi are we on track? Yes, we are on track, but akusiyo event we process. We put up programs, we put up projects to assist eMaswati to achieve increased production, improved production per unit area. Siphinze ba create a climate resilience ukuthi noma ngabe sekhona tehlakalo letitsite komisa and those things sisebenzisa ama technologies lahlukene. Lokunye lokumgogodla welive ukuthi si-achieve i-diversification, meaning ukuthi singaproduce kunye umuntu nje nakende program ende kunye kuphela because that one itaba risk. So siya-diversify and commercialize agriculture so that it's total income. In terms of on track, all the processes are in place. It's only that as uqhubeka kufika sangcotho sifike sishaye konke lolo khona. So that's why we have to put together onke ema-efforts, onke ema-forces, onke ema-stakeholders elive ukuthi silekelelane ukuthi lo munye nakabambe ngala lo munye abambe ngala collectively, then we can achieve lele sikhuluma ngako ukuthi live libe nako ukudla lokwanele for onke emaswati achieve economic development for their well-being and health and the economic development of the country. So we are on track. It's only that as uchubeka ukhanza ukuthi kuba nemahadis laqhamuka. I-climate change ilethe tintfo letinsha every day. Litula lizange selicale kuna end of October. We are seeing that. We are seeing temperatures anga December, yet we are seeing October. So you can imagine ukuthi nga 15 December, which is the peak in terms of temperatures. Sitabe sinjani. So nangibuka la ngikhumbula December and I'm scared ukuthi uma kungetelana kakhulu noma kufike lichwa at that time. Awu lokuningi kutawulimala. So hulumende ke uthi ke akafake onke ama efforts including nema investments in terms of assisting ama farmers kutsakendeni. But in terms of lokwalamuhla lesikudele mhlaplangene uthi yena ucommemorator eItaly mhla ka-16 bese kuthi lama member states mhlaplangene lokulive leSwatini bese sikhetsela lethu la. In this particular case we chose mhla ka-31 October as our day lesita commemorate ngalo. Sithuza nje any convenient day. Ne location yethu ke normally siyesikhethe ema locations la vulnerable to the things that we've just talked about. But lapho la maswati la khona kuleto ndzawo le athatha an effort to use all available resources to produce good la for their livelihood and income. So njoba semhlangantane nje staff Facebook ema projects emalimi labawendako using anything lekhona kuze sibatophila. Bese as an appreciation umuntu ke nakasebenzile ubese uphiwa sipho mhlaplangene ke nasiya kuleyo ndzawo leyo khanza ukuthi kuba khona ama presence lamancane labaye bakunike kona ukuthi chubeka nalo lokwendako nekufundzisa ke because ipurpose lenkulu kulokufundisa abantu ukuthi awuhlali nje ugathe ukuthi uhulumeni utakuphana ubese unawe uyadlubulunzela nakadlubulunza appreciator bese siyabanika baye baphumeke nema presence even though kusuke kungasibo labadalwako kusuke kumhlaplangane but lo mfana lo kumhlaplangane uthatha ama presence afika nike labo bantu labo to appreciate ukuthi ngiyadalwa lamhla but ngibhakela ikhekhe ngiphala labangidala ukuthi ngiyabonga sibangidalile. So in this particular case sidabe semhlangatane ke mhla ka-31 siyo commemorate kona si appreciate ama programs ama projects laba wendako incane imvula emhlangatane liyashisa emhlangatane emanda scarce but those people bayadlubulunzela bayenda. So that's an appreciation. The right to food is that akuti kuwe now we are lubulunzela lokusida kwakuside. So we provide the technologies and knowledge as the Minister of Agriculture. Hulumende provide infrastructure bantu bese bayakwenda. Akusi automatic ukuthi because sesitho sathamba ufaka itunnel it means otabane kudla kufuna kube ne-effort lefakwa ngilomlimi afake use leyo technology noma lolo lwati appropriately, then we achieve what we want.
Okay. Ngibeka kuwe baba eMondlane as FAO ni organization lenkhulu ingabe vele kukhona yini lesingathi mhlawumbe ngema innovative approaches leni now lenosebenzisa ukuzama nje kulekelela ama smallholder farmers and phindze nekelele ni improve nutrition for school going children akhona nema approaches mhlawumbe lenwendako kuzama ku improve kulelo hlangothi.
Okay, ngiyabonga for lo mbuzo loyo. FAO supporta government initiatives. So which means nekonke lesikwendako like Ashito director, we are driven by the government. We follow what government wants and then we deliver on that. There's been quite a number of innovations that have been brought in agriculture. La climate smart. Like abexile directors ukhona kusupporta kumathanela ukhona kusupporta kwe-shade netting, which is reproductive farming that responded to climate change. Konke loko are efforts that now ensure ukuthi we are able to produce adequate food. Conservation agriculture has long been supported by FAO in the country, jointly with the ministry and other NGOs, such that we can a committee task force that is pushing the agenda, promote conservation agriculture in the country. So that could uptake your corner because we want respond to climate change. As Ashito directors, resilience, because how do we produce as a nation under the trying conditions? When the economic crisis, when the climatic conditions, there's other issues, conflicts lakhona la affect the agriculture, that's kube lukhuni to move forward. Kusupport abantwana, we have in the past jointly with the WFP undertaking a pilot of what you call a homegrown school feeding program with 50 schools in the country, and the pilot has been completed. And what is happening, the report has come out and it's been forwarded to government to consider whether to upscale, and if upscaling, to what level. But the whole concept is about economic empowerment of farmers around the Tukolo, so that labalimi esibalima le different commodities, which is maize, beans, vegetables, nemacanza, bakuthengisela le Tukolo, so that Tukolo becomes a market within the community, so that within the communities we stimulate the economic development from the schools that are there. So we are hoping we'll see going forward it will be upscaled, so that stock bona la fruits that will come out from there. And at the same time, la banfana bakhona kudla look fresh, and bakhona ukukhulisana le diversity of la kudla labakudla kona Tukolo, because it's at kona madle mabhontshisi nestambu noma rice, but nyalo sengitwela ama vegetables, kwangitwela lamacanza la source of protein. So those are efforts to ensure ukuthi bafana befuna bakhula kahle, bahlala healthy, nutritious, for them to also contribute to economic development of the country as a future. Yes.
Ngibonga konje babe emavuso kokugcina nje kafishane sikhuluma nje nga one of the many crucial projects ahulumende ile input subsidy eluhlelo lokuhlangabetana nabo balimi ngabe lidlala inzima lenganani ekutheni even Eswatini kube nekudla lokwanele.
I-input subsidy is one of a myriad, a collective of my efforts ahulumende. Input subsidy ikabili ngathini. Kune maize input subsidy into the maize, beans, and sorghum for lamanye areas. Kune input subsidy lekhona for horticulture. So maning lama programs are hulumende. But in njengoba uziroisha in on the maize one of the things when we started this thing in 2014 as a design, it was meant ukuthi kube i-demonstration or sikolo sekufundisa ukuthi uma ufake ama-inputs lanele, you are able to realize improved yields. Secondly, the income that is derived from logo kudla lokho uphinze ube suba able ukuthi wanzisele nzawo. That's why it was actually pegged at 1 ton per hectare, 1 hectare per farm. Ema benefits are logo. What we've seen is that productivity of the country has increased, especially ngalokuthi ngalesikhathi icala sasifake ngisho nelithunyela lakhathi uthunyelo lenda ukuthi simprove i-nutrition yemhlaba wethu kuze kuthi uba more productive. That's why we are seeing ukuthi despite lokuthi kuba nalama events ukuthi kunabo drought nabo heat wave, the yield is still increasing steadily. The average as we speak is 86,000 metric tons lesemtfolako. Despite lokuthi kuba nema peaks la khona besichamuka from an even lower area. Ukuthi teke na bekusho ukuthi ukhanze ukuthi if you remove all the adverse weather effects akhona laba khona ngabekisa nje ukuthi imvula ukhanze ukuthi normal i-distribution ikahle. We attained 127,000 metric tons in 1 year. I think angisakhumbula ukuthi ngophi lo mnyaka. So it shows ukuthi ikhona le possibility yekwenyuka. So uma draw a straight line in terms of when we started this program, uyabona lo ukuthi khona improvement. And nalama peaks akhona akabi as adverse as it would be if nje bo atawo elementa wonke lo mhlabathi wasengena amadolo, lo mhlabathi wasengculini lwashaya sangcotho last year. But you still find ukuthi lesivuno le drop ayibi inkulu kakhulu. So that's the benefit of it. But lenye benefit yale input subsidy is that isayitelekele okunye kunahamba ubuye now, where if farmer is not subsidizing alo 50% kule input subsidy, but lo muna ngizalo uthola benefit yekuthi it does not pay interest when you are actually supported through that program. You get ema inputs onke akho e production ngalokuphelele. Hulumende ke uphinze futhi waveta lonye lihlelo because most of the time whether you get a subsidy udzinga infrastructure to do that. Kulima emasimu, kufensela emasimu. So currently we have a program which is established office like Agriculture Development Fund. That one actually will take care of lama issues la raised ngama farmers. Ukuthi uma ngihamba ngithi ngiyoboleka imali ebhange lamanye ema-products lakhona where hulumende, Ministry of Agriculture has collaborated with the Swazi Bank or the banking institutions ukuthi kube khona ama-products labawathola khona with our support. Sibuka lama-business plan bese uyahamba umuntu uyoboleka imali even though you pay interest, but the infrastructure was not covered. So nangabe ufuna kwenta tingulube for instance, ngeke bakunike ebhange imali yekwakha lendlu, batakunika le production kuphela, lama production cost. So utaka Agriculture Development Fund uboleke le yekwakhelwa le structure bese uya ebhange soyothola kudla kwetingulube takho, tingulube takho uyatifaka. Nabo uya emasimini wendi horticulture utawuhamba i-Agri Development Fund bakunikete imali yekwakha ema-tunnels bese uya ebhange uyofuna ema-seedlings nabo manyolo netifutho and the like. So kubambisana kwahulumende. So this was actually born out of the input subsidy ukuthi uma balimi bahlangabetwa in one way or the other they will achieve the productivity lekhona. So we're seeing positive developments in that aspect. Lesingakhutsata-ke kubalimi ngilokuthi they must understand these programs ukuthi tekusita yena akusiwe ama-gifts. That's why some of them are subsidized by hulumende, 50% in maize, beans and sorghum, 40% in terms of horticulture. Bese kuba nema-revolving funds where you get the support and also pay them back at the end of the day. Kulokunye kune-interest, lokunye kude-interest, but those programs are available. Litiko-ke belisolo lihamba around. Ngicabanga ukuthi sitawudistetshwa nje ukuthi sekutaba nemisebenzi emikhulu yelifa. Otherwise we're going around like inkundleni sibatshela ukuthi now are the different products. Kwasekwale farmer ukuthi itekisi itofi ibuteksi mina ngi-interested in this bese simtshela ama-conditions akhona bese uya-applyela, but onke akhona. The subsidy is for the poorest of the poor, ma-farmers langakhoni ngisho ukuhola, but we are finding qhamuka labahola nje abo direct nabo bathi bawufuna input subsidy. It's not for that. Uma une income, expect you to go into the other products. Hamba ubuye for instance, which is interest free at the moment. Hamba uyofuna lelenye support leqhamuka eSwazi Bank where you actually pay the interest, but a favorable interest, and you can go as much as you can. Noma ngina 30 hectares ngihamba ngeSwazi Bank ngihambe ngicele leyo mali leyo banginikete ngihambe ngiyokwenda. When you need infrastructure then there is other products, but various projects are available.
All right, so simakhulu Mavuso na baba Mondlane besivetele ukuthi sisaphinde sikhulumisane na World Vision usukumise nje umkhankaso lobitwa ngokuthi enough campaign nayo lohlose ukucitha busweti lapha even asibuye sisabe sikhulumisana naMlamuli Busika.
Kuthuthuka kwembango, kuthuthuka kwetinkhundla. Kuthuthuka kwetinkhundla yintuthuko yelive lonke. Thokotela luhlelo sive siyathuthuka nasikulethela intuthuko emimangweni njalo ngabo lesithathu nase ishaye yagabanca insimbi yesithupha kusihlwa. Sive siyathuthuka.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
Sivile sive sitikhulumeni.
As the saying goes, education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. Great news for the learners. Eswatini TV brings back the home learning with a wide range of subjects for the grade 7s, Form 3s and Form 5s from the safety of their home.
Change in speed and there's no change in wavelength, meaning that the wavelength of the incident wavefronts.
Watch home learning every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Eswatini TV. Sibuko seMaswati.
Asimize sinimukele sivetele ukuthi siyeta bese sicocisana nebaka World Vision Eswatini nabo bayinhlangano lebukele kakhulu kunakekeleka kubantwana mhla ka 4 October nje basokumisa umkhankaso lobetwa ngokuthi enough campaign lohlose kucetha ihanga lapha eveni sinamlamoli busikelo so khona ka World Vision utochazela kabanti ngawo lo msebenzi oba namhla mhlaplangena kubhalila ngale World Food Day sifuna kuve ukuthi ngabe simo sebusweti lapha eveni sime kanjani ukuthi inhlangano ethinzekako dizama imiphi metama letiyendako kuzama ukucetha bona busweti lapha eveni sikuvusela emlamuli siyabonga kusichazele njengawo lo mkhankaso enough campaign ingabe utawuhamba kanjani utawusebenza kanjani yini kahle kahle lenindako as World Vision.
Sithathele lithuba sibonge kakhulu Makakula kusime Masing World Vision ukuthi sitokhulumisa kancane indzaba ye campaign and sibonge kakhulu nalokuthi sikhulumisa on a day where mhlaplangane is celebrating the World Food Day. Njengoba sochazile mhla ka 4 besisukumisa enough campaign letawuthatha iminyaka lemithathu and lesingakuveta nje kwekuthi World Vision usebenzela kakhulu nalabeswele vele and ke singaveta lokuthi si celebrate nje le World Food Day cishe singalinganisa ukuthi la over 300,000 people labangamaswati babhekene nekweswela kudla kusukela ku-October uyofika ku-March next year. At the same time sibhekene nale situation leyo sibuka ukuthi things about the nutritional deficiencies noma labo stunting nabo wasting they are still a concern in the country. Siphinze sibuke decline ye production nje na sibuka umnyaka lophelile kudla lesikhicitile simaswati phose kunciphe nga 12% lokusibeka isimeni lesibucayike kuletinyanga letilandzela kuleti sithupha kutseni lonke liswati lilale lidlile ikakhulu umntwana.
Siyadla ukuthi one of your mandates as World Vision ukuthi nende ema community outreaches lokuthi nivakashele imimango nihlole sime ukuthi sikanjani mhlambe nibafundzise ngama programs lenondako senibone nje niphosa ku social media ukuthi kunama initiatives lenondako nebamphana ukuthi batisungulile ama backyard gardens ingabe vele lesimo on the ground sikanjani bungana nobusweti lemakhaya.
Makakula babukela isimo asisisole sihle kakhulu na ubuka emakhaya uphinze ubuke nasetikolweni the level ye nutrition iphose ibe phansi kakhulu lesitama kukwenda kulamalanga mhlambe lokuma programs kwekuthi likhaya nelikhaya silisekele kwekuthi libe nayo i-backyard garden and phinze sibuke la kude khona kakhulu emanti ukuthi mhlambe le livestock lencane letinkuku bologwaja noma lama small ruminants lama farmers noma lama households angakhona yini ukufuya lokho timbuti sike sisebenzisana nele office la Deputy Prime Minister wenda sure ukuthi likhaya nelikhaya kukhona lelikhicitako ikakhulu kulamakhaya laphinze abe child headed la kwanza ukuthi sekude khona abadali but noma kude badali kudla kuyafuneka sisebenza ke netikolwa letinengi kakhulu letsemaphandleni wena sho ukuthi lesikolwa sinengathi la khona sitawukhicita khona usupplementa what government is providing as kudla kwaletikolo and siyakubona kuyasita kakhulu kuhlangabeta lolusito lwahulumende lalifaka kula etikolweni.
Ngokugcina nje kafishane njengoba namhla sikubhala nalanga le World Food Day ngabe nzima yini nje lesingayidlala as individuals as society as ummango kuzama kona isiqiniseko sokuthi kunekudla lokwanele event.
As we launch the enough campaign society Kickstarter we are really challenging individuals tingapane maswati onke nje nyatinhlangano ukuthi le severity noma le tinkinga letikhona for nutrition they are visible tikhona. We are trying to make sure that we gather enough data, enough information. Let's share with a number of companies and a number of platforms, social media. So we ask the public to follow us in our media platforms to access that information and see opportunities where they can partner and adopt schools, adopt households that labanga supporter alama nutritional programs.
Okay. No ngiyavakala sibonga kakhulu Busika bekunguye mlamuli Busika losoka enhlanganweni World Vision sikhuluma nje ngesimo lesikhona emimangweni isimo sendlala noma ke isimo sebusweti lapha eveni basukumiseke umkhankaso we Enough campaign kuzama kokunciphisa sona lesimo lesilapha eveni saselikhefu nasibuya sithophisa hlelo.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba research bafunze.
Being risky it means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sende ukukhicita lokhu sekungeni.
Ujala masada mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho sivile sive sithi khulume.
It's a minute before 8 o'clock. We've come to the end of our program. Thank you for tuning in. Masanza kusivulela ngakhathate kusangakhona kusibukela ku Eswatini TV ekhasini lethu la ka YouTube kana kalogo ni benelisuku loluhle sanibona kusasa.
Muge